final holiday open on this Wednesday, December 22nd. Welcome into Talking Fitchburg, the last show of the season, and I don't even get to do any headlines today. We have so many great guests coming up. We'll be talking with the city administrator as we get the final update of the year for the city. Plus, we're checking in with the big guy, Santa Claus. He'll be here to bring some holiday cheer, and we'll find out if Andrew's been naughty or nice. But we're going to get right over to saying thank you and happy holidays from all of us here at Fact TV. We cannot thank you enough for tuning in each and every day. And now we are going to transition over to our Fitchburg singers to kick off Talking Fitchburg.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
We're all just trying to keep things running for those who rely on us.
Ready!
That's why we don't have time to be sick with the flu. And especially this year, no one has time to get sick. Get a flu shot for yourself and those around you too.
Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Joining me today is your city administrator, Chad Brecklin. Chad, welcome back to the show. How are you doing, long time no see friend?
Yeah, I'm doing well, Jeremy. How have you been? I don't know if I've seen you on this show in like 3 or 4 months.
You know, basically after we won the awards, it all went to my head. And I've been out on tour, shaking hands, signing autographs, and I put Andrew to work. I mean, it was as simple as that. There's no other excuse.
Well, that was one of the possible theories that I was kicking around there, that had completely gone to your head. But on the bright side, not only did you and the FACT team win those awards, but also I was in the very capable hands of Andrew in your absence. So no harm, no foul.
He does a good job. We like when he fills in, and if I could get him to do more of the show, that would be great. And I could take a back seat, but I know he won't let me do that. So when he's there, he's great to help us out and make this work. So I'm glad that I'm able to join you, but I definitely feel the same way, that you definitely were in the right hands, at least for the interviews. And as I told you, it was a better chance for you two to bond a little bit over your new role as city administrator. And that's what we'll take our first question of the day today. You're 5 months in, Chad, and at this point in the year, normally we would be saying, well, Chad, it's been another year. How did this year go, and how would you wrap it up? But let's just look at the first 5 months. How are things going for you? Settling in, enjoying the meetings? What's going on out there?
So yeah, the first 5 months of the city administrator role have been definitely quite busy for me. You mentioned meetings, and many days it seems like I'm going from one meeting to the next, to the next, to the next. I think one day last week I was recounting for somebody the number of meetings I had in one day, and I think, granted it was a long day, but I think I got to 10 meetings that day. So yeah, there's no shortage of time for me to sit in meetings and spend some time on city operations and a variety of other things. But overall, meetings aside, things I think have gone well. It's been very interesting learning more about city operations and having a better understanding, how all the parts, so to speak, fit together and come together as one and make the city run, so to speak. And I've been very lucky to have such great people like the two of you who have been very kind and supportive and helpful as I've transitioned into the new role. We have a lot of great people throughout the city in all of its departments, which obviously I knew that as having been a member of the city for over 20 years. But it's definitely given me a new appreciation for the type of people that we have here and how dedicated and helpful and committed they are to helping one another and also to provide great services to our community as well. So it's been a good transition, and 22 will be continuing that transition with lots more to continue to learn and lots of opportunities ahead.
Absolutely. And as Fact TV, we get to see a lot of the departments as well. And it is amazing how city operations all comes together and how it all intertwines. Yeah, you're definitely on the inside track there with the new position, and I think you're off to a great start, certainly. And we'll challenge you now to all those meetings you have been in. We start with it is annual property tax collection season in City Hall this year for the collection. You did want to mention that as part of some of the stuff we're talking about today.
Yeah, this is obviously our tax bills, property tax bills went out, I think about a week or so ago, and they've been arriving in folks' mailboxes beginning early last week. And there's been a steady stream of folks coming in to take care of their property tax payments, which of course we always appreciate that timely payment. Also, as a sidebar, of course, dog license or pet licenses are due at this time as well. So we've seen some folks at the front counter taking care of those also. I do want to reiterate, though, obviously, that when those property tax bills show up in everyone's mailbox, we certainly take that with all level of seriousness and know that that's a financial impact that our property owners have to account for every single year. And we certainly here at City Hall try to do our best to be very good stewards of your money that you provide us, all with the effort of providing outstanding city municipal services to our communities. So I hope that in those situations where our residents and property owners have utilized city services, they have had a positive experience and have felt that the value of those services have have met their expectations. So with the holiday season coming up, City Hall is typically closed in recognition of some holidays. It will be closed on December 24th and 25th. And closing at noon on December 30th. And also City Hall will be closed on December 31st, which is Friday of next week. However, for tax collection purposes, any day City Hall is open, tax collection begins at 7:30 a.m. and continues until 4:30 p.m. And on those days in which City Hall is closed that I mentioned on the 30th and 31st, tax collection will be available from 7:30 a.m. to 12 noon on both the 30th and 31st. So anyone wishing to make those tax payments in advance of the new year, City Hall is going to be open for the purposes of tax payment collection on the 31st. So you can still get that payment in by 12 noon.
And if you can't get here in those hours, you can drop that payment off in the drop box in the foyer. Remember, no cash, though, when you drop that off in there. And please don't send cash in the mail if you are mailing it, or Misty will have my hide for not sharing that information. So very important on that. And thanks for the update there, Chad. Speaking of funds, we finished budget out last year for this upcoming year. But a note here of ARPA funds, if you could tell the folks what the ARPA funds are and what will be happening here coming up in 22 with those.
Yeah, so it seems like we always tend to be in some sort of a budget season here in the city of Fitchburg, whether it's capital budget season or operating budget season, or if we're not actually discussing and planning budgets, we're certainly prepping for the next round of capital and or operating budget. But with the ARPA funds, which is the American Rescue Plan funds that the federal government has been providing to municipalities, the legislation I think was passed in either spring of 2021 or maybe summer. I don't know exactly what the timing of that was, but ultimately we've been reviewing the guidelines. They still are in an interim state, those guidelines, but they're at a point where we feel we can at least begin to proceed with developing a spending plan for the funding that we are going to be receiving from the federal government. In total, the city of Fitchburg is expected to receive just about $3.2 million in ARPA funds. Those funds can be used for things like water quality, stormwater quality issues, and other projects related to responding to COVID and the associated issues that the pandemic has created in our communities. So our city council will begin to develop that spending plan in conjunction with Mayor Richardson beginning in the first quarter of 2022. Our finance director, Misty Dodge, who we all know is outstanding and stays on top of all things budgetarily, including the ARPA funding, has developed a proposed timeline, which was modified a bit and acted upon by the city council at our meeting on December 14th. So in January, she will do a presentation on how we may utilize those ARPA funds and other guidelines and considerations that are important for us in our community and our council to be aware of. And then the Mayor Richardson will develop a tentative spending plan based upon the priorities that he's identified. And then the city council and our community will have an opportunity to provide feedback and input and potential amendment and modification to that proposed spending plan that Mayor Richardson creates. So please, folks, stay tuned to the notices that might be posted in regards to city meetings. I'm sure our website will be updated as well in regards to agendas and other opportunities for public input, but likely our council meetings in February and March will certainly provide that opportunity for input for those in our community to come in and talk about how they might wish for the city to utilize those ARPA funds. And of course, I would encourage anyone to contact Mayor Richardson and or their respective alder in their district to also share any feedback they may have.
Perfect. Well, appreciate the breakdown and appreciate your time as always, Chad. We're out of time, but we'll look forward to checking in with you at the new year. Have a safe and wonderful holiday break. And I promise at least 6 episodes with you next year. I can give you 50%, but that's about it.
You know what? I'll take what I can get. I'll be in good hands either way between you and Andrew. So we're all good. We're all good.
All right. That is your city administrator, Chad Brecklin, and stay up to the latest news on the website as far as ARPA tax collection and other questions you may have. We'll take a quick break. More to come. You're watching Talking Fitchburg.
You could be spreading the coronavirus without realizing you have it. So follow guidance from authorities where you live and do your part. It's important to limit in-person interaction with anyone outside of your immediate household, but phone and video chat are safe ways to connect. It's also important to limit any social gathering. This advice applies to people of any age, including teens and younger adults. Visit coronavirus.gov for the latest information.
Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. All right, boys and girls, you've been waiting for it all year long, and somehow, some way, we get this guy in here during the holiday season. It is the one, the only Santa Claus.
Hello, boys and girls. How are you doing, Jeremy?
I am doing very well. How are you doing this fine December?
We're doing good. Production is on schedule. We're staying ahead, keeping the toys ready. We just need to get more of those letters in so that the elves know what the children need.
Now, over the years, I suspect that things have changed a little bit in the elf factory. We get all the new technology and all the new, like, how does the North Pole stay on top of this technology change?
Well, we do have our own engineers, and actually, we have the technology probably before everybody else does. And, you know, after all, we have to make toys for millions of children, and we even improve our delivery system so we have sleighs of extra toys ready, so when we empty one sleigh, there's where we have what we call a staging point where I meet up, switch sleighs, and continue to go around the world delivering more toys.
And it's impressive how many toys you deliver around the world. And the magic behind that has always been fascinating to me.
Well, the elves and I decided a long time ago that this had to be a special mission that we would do. And so we're constantly making sure that we do the best job, because who else would?
That should be like your slogan. Like they got to have that on the T-shirts for the elves. Who else would?
Well, the slogan on the elves T-shirt is "More cookies, more eggnog makes better presents."
I was thinking hashtag eggnog or something for the hip and new elves, or hashtags cookie and milk.
Well, the cookies and eggnog are the milk is my department. The elves is eggnog. After all, that makes them too sweet to get eaten by a polar bear when we go out and about. And, that's why the polar bears love the elves, because they bring them their Coca-Cola and things like that.
Wait a minute. You're not saying that there's a tie to that soda. No way.
Well, not to me.
That's the North Pole secrets right there.
That's part of the polar bear's tradition.
Yeah. Well, let's quickly talk about
Better than snowball fights.
Sure. Well, I can just imagine a good snowball fight in the North Pole has got to be something else. But we had our what normally is a children's holiday party, but we changed it to Talk with Santa. Keep everybody safe, and we had a good turnout for that, and talking to boys and girls. But thinking back to some of the great times that boys and girls come sat in your lap, and you're thinking back like, that one really stood out to me. Like, what's been that over the years? Where's that one that stands out to you for asking?
Well, it's when the children, they ask for things for other people and not themselves. Those are the ones where you really want to help the best you can. And I did have one young girl ask me for one of the sleigh bells. And I brought it to her in person on Christmas Eve. And she was still up. And she had a friend staying with her. But I had two of them because the elves had let me know ahead of time to make sure that I had two silver bells, one for her and one for her friend.
Wow. That's pretty impressive. It's the technology. You said it.
Well, the elves, do a lot. We got the elves on the shelf that turn around and get reports back to the North Pole. We have the little elves that go check on the children at night to make sure that everything is okay. And, you got to make sure you pick up your toys, or where do we have room for the new ones?
There you go. You heard it here first. I've got two very young kids that need to listen to that message right now. I'm talking to you, Lily and Carson. Pick that stuff up. All right, let's get to our annual tradition here on Fact TV and finding out who's getting what this year when it comes to the holidays. So Fact TV, we got 5 great employees here. We'll save mine for last. I don't know how many years I've received coal from you, but I'm hoping for something better in the future. But we'll go first to Scott. Scott, the assistant manager here at Fact TV. Any advice for him this year?
Well, Scott, giving you a better alarm clock might help, but
I like that one.
I still think he needs another scarf.
He is a scarf guy. That's kind of interesting. He is a scarf guy. I could see that. He's a Vikings fan, so better make it
Green and gold.
green. And
After all, that's the Tundra team.
Well, Whatever floats his boat is what I tell him. All right, moving on. We've got George, who joined our staff in the last year and a half. And George fills in at night, helping us out with the meetings, doing some great work.
George deserves a special gift. I think he should be getting a big soft pillow. Because after he's worked such a long day, he needs a pillow to be able to sleep on and get all of his thoughts ready for the next day.
Speaking of another hard worker, Chad Cole's been here almost as long as I've been here. Just falls short by a year and a half, I believe, but celebrating 10 years this year.
Chad. Oh, Chad needs a new mug and packets of coffee and hot cocoa to put in it.
I like that. And he works some long nights here with some of the meetings as we're covering them, and so he's got to stay awake.
That's why he needs the coffee.
He's always admiring my mug collection, so this makes perfect sense. All right, we move on to Andrew. Andrew directing behind the scenes, pressing the buttons as we speak. We call him Bamlet for short. What does he have
What does
up
the
it?
Bamlet get? The Bamlet for Christmas. I know the ultimate would be a cassette tape recorder.
He is an audio guy. It's a true statement.
But, it may be one that doesn't even work, but he'd be able to have it for his history shelf of this is what the technology used to be. And now he's got all this new toys and everything else to make sounds in his movies with, but it all goes back to the original cassette player.
Bam. I like it. He's an audio guy. He is our audio expertise here on the show and in the department for that fact. So, all right, finally, you leave it down to me. It's been a year, and I feel like I've been doing better, but
Well, you have to understand, at least with all this greenhouse stuff, we can't give away coal anymore.
well, that's good.
We give away chocolate.
Chocolate. I like chocolate.
Because we figure if we sweeten you up a little bit, you'll be better.
Oh man.
So, preferably, I like the dark chocolate cherry cordials. So
I am a dark chocolate fan. I'll say that. You surprise me with some dark chocolate, I'll surprise you with some good milk and cookies. Wisconsin
right.
style.
Wisconsin style?
Total Wisconsin style. You bet.
Cool.
Get in a you betcha too why as I'm doing it. All right, final thoughts here before we wrap up on this holiday season. There a lot of things have changed in the world, especially since COVID, you name it. But I think there's still one good message out there. We're still all together. We're still all one, right?
Right.
And I think you still got these great traditions out there.
You have to appreciate your family, your loved ones, and to be able to continue doing good things for others. So it's not always a me world, like everybody was going to their own little apartment, staying away from each other and everything. You still have to understand the love of your family, of your friends. They all care about you. And, there's joy of the heart is helping others and being with others. Granted, you got to be careful. You got your masks, you got your distancing, but that doesn't mean that you can't be helpful, kindness, and a very loving person, especially to the other close ones in your family that love you too.
It's a true statement. It's the time of giving. It's time of love. it's time of joy, right? Have some joy. And Santa, we appreciate the time as always, and appreciate you helping us out with our talk with Santa. Hopefully we'll get back in person next year. If not, we might have to do 2 gigs. You still do the talk with Santa and the in person.
Well, that would be fine. I've been missing the kids. Granted, we're going to get to squeeze a few of them in on the Zoom meetings with Santa, but to get to see and talk with the kids, it just makes a great day.
Sure does. All right, Santa, have a good holiday season, and we'll see you back here for our annual meeting next year, right here on the TF set. Might be different color, but...
Very good.
All right.
Merry Christmas to you and your family and
you
friends.
as well. Thank you so much. Santa, check him out on Christmas Eve. No, you better not. You better be sleeping so he shows up at your house. Or, you'll be in trouble. All right, we'll take a quick break. More to come. You're watching Talking Fitchburg.
Severe weather can strike anytime, anywhere, but there's a simple way to stay safe. Hey, Jim Cantori here. I stay safe in dangerous weather by planning ahead. You can stay safe too with a few easy steps. Build an inexpensive kit with supplies for your family's needs. Write down important information like phone numbers and medications. Always talk with your family and remember any pets in your planning. Be ready, be safe. Start your plan today at ready.gov/plan.
All right, what a great show. Thank you to Santa Claus for stopping in and Chad Brecklin as well. As you head out for the holidays, make sure you take us with you. Yeah, you can show all your friends and family. Talking Fitchburg. Just saying, it's pretty cool. And as we close out this last Talking Fitchburg, we'll go back to the Fitchburg Singers and Silent Night.